Hi, this is Craig Draymond from the Re-Veg Edge in Redwood City. What we're going to show today is that mowing once a year in spring to take care of fire fuels for the weed grasses is really a useless exercise because the weed straw, flammable weed straw, is still on the ground ready to burn all summer long. So what I've set up here is an example from the town of La Honda, where they have 16,000 pounds of weed straw per acre on a 6-acre pasture, and this was harvested in August 2023. And what we're going to do is see how long it burns, and we have a pyrometer that's going to tell us what the temperature is. And then there's a website where you can see more information at ecoseeds.com/firesafe.pdf. So I'm going to move the pyrometer so we can read the numbers as the fire progresses. The interesting thing is we might not see very high flames, but when you have this mowed fire fuel, it burns a lot longer, period. So we'll get it lit now. So we got a yardstick in the background here so we can see what the flame heights are. So we got about 1 foot high. And it's kind of smoky. Pyrometer's reading 170. Takes about 30 seconds for the pyrometer to get up to speed. It's a little trickly 1 foot flame so far. Pyrometers reading 250, 260, 270. So what we're doing when we manage these weed grasses, here it's going into the smoky phase, and it's basically making a straw charcoal down at the bottom. The bottom 4 or 5 inches is just red hot still. What we're doing each spring is we start mowing when the weed grasses are still green, and then the straw that's cut starts decaying when there's still rain to do that for us. So by June or July, there's almost no fire fuel left that hasn't been decayed with the winter rains. So the pyrometer's only gone up to a little over 500, headed towards 600. But you can see down at the bottom here, we still have a lot of the straws, almost like making straw charcoal. We're up to about 600 degrees now. Now it's dropping. But it's taking a long time for this straw to burn. The way to calculate how many pounds you have on a piece of property is you take 1 square foot of the straw, weigh it in grams, multiply that number by 100, and they'll give you the pounds per acre. So the fire underneath is slowly going down, but we're still at 400 degrees. So I'm going to keep running this so you can see how long this thing actually takes to finally burn out. And this is 16,000 pounds, which is a high amount because I've weighed as much as 21,000 pounds per acre on another property here on the peninsula, San Francisco Peninsula. So we're smoky still. We're dropping around 400, but this thing still wants to go. If we had a good wind, that could kick up this still burning material. And you can see how we're stable at about 412 right now. So it's still got a ways to go. I'm kind of surprised. I was thinking this would flame up and go out pretty quickly, but when you cut it and lay it on the ground, it's almost like you're making a straw-briquette that's going to burn over a long period of time. Now our temperature is actually going up. We're up to 450 now. So I'll keep it running until, say, we get below 300. So we know that this is the time frame that you should expect for, this is only 1 square foot of straw off of the La Honda property. We're now going back up to 500. So one of these days, it's stabilizing at about 520, 530, 40, 50. So you can see how these grass fires, if you have the straw sitting on the ground, you think it's out, but you know, a few minutes later it could flare up and cause problems again. We're up to 600 again. So this is a TM 6801 pyrometer you can get online, and we're almost up to 700 now again. So monthly mowing, mow it about 8 to 12 inches high so you don't accidentally cut the native plants and the fire-safe wildflowers that are in the soil underneath. And if you keep mowing once a month and you have dormant seeds still in the soil, there's a good chance that the native seeds will sprout and replace the weeds. We're back up to 800 now. I don't know how high we're going to go, and this is still going. This is just 1 square foot off of the property in La Honda. It's sort of stabilizing at 835. Up, 840. 850. We might get up to 1,000 degrees. So anybody who has these weed grasses growing around their property or in their open spaces near their properties. It's good to start the monthly mowing in late January, in February, March, April, May, June, and stop the weed grasses from reproducing and making more seeds. And that way you extinguish the seed bank, and hopefully when you mow high, you'll get the native seeds to come back and replace them. We're almost 1,000 now. We're at 940 and it's still rising. Because underneath we still have, you know, the grass is turned into almost like grass charcoal. So it's burning like a briquette underneath. And this is really damaging to the native plants. If you have a perennial native plant that's trying to live in this habitat and it gets cooked for, you see how long a period of time it's getting cooked, you can wipe out your native plant community by setting a fire in a weed grassland that produces this length of fire and this heat of the fire. So it looks like we hit another peak at 955. We might not reach 1,000. Oh, 960. Still going up. Now this year and last year I was measuring the amount of weed grass in mowed areas on the peninsula here. The average was about 4,000 to 6,000 pounds per acre, but the high was 21,000 pounds, and this is the second highest at 16,000 pounds. So it's good to go out after you've mowed in June and see what really you have on the land that could possibly cause a major fire issue in the summer. So it looks like we've stabilized around 165. Oh, going up again. Excuse me. Oh, we hit 1,000. See, we still have the straw burning in the center. It's amazing how long this actually burns for. I never expected this to happen. So it's finally going down. We're reaching 800, 700. And this is just 1 square foot. If you look at the 16,000 pounds on an acre, and it's burning for a long, long time. We're finally below 700. Below 600. $500. Finally, we're going below 400. So we'll stir it up and see if we still have burning material. Yeah, still a little tiny bit at the bottom. So go out and measure your straw, your weed straw around your properties, and encourage your open space managers to do the same kind of measurement and see if whatever methods they're using for supposed fire safety are actually producing any results. Thanks for viewing the video.